Florida has experienced rapid and dramatic changes over the years. From nature parks being overtaken by hotels and recreational activities, to car washes sprouting up on every corner, the transformation of once quiet, nature-rich areas into hustling and bustling developments is undeniable. Whether you grew up in the 60s, 70s, or even as recently as the mid to early 2000s, the Florida you once knew has undoubtedly shifted significantly. For starters, the population has skyrocketed, nearly tripling since 1970, from about 6.8 million to over 22 million today. Urbanization, deforestation, and even increased flooding have followed. New highways cut through once sprawling farms, and land that was once a natural refuge for wildlife has been turned into new housing developments. Of course, water quality has been affected too, with overall warmer water temperatures, more sewage runoff, pesticides, oil, siege, gasoline spills, and harmful algae blooms. Florida's once pristine waters have become a focal point of environmental concern. Coral reefs are dying, and endangered species that rely on Florida waterways to survive, such as the manatee and leatherback turtle, face increasing threats as their natural habitats disappear. Human health issues linked to contaminated water, such as Vibrio vulnificus infections, brain-eating amoebas, and toxins from algae blooms, are becoming increasingly common too. While we are on the topic of health, are your allergies getting worse? It could be linked to diminished air quality. In many areas, Florida's air quality has also deteriorated in recent years, largely due to increasing traffic and urban sprawl. With more vehicles on the road, exhaust fumes contribute significantly to pollution, releasing harmful chemicals like nitrogen dioxide and particulate matter into the atmosphere. Additionally, the rising presence of microplastics, both in the air and in water, poses new health risks. These tiny particles, often originating from plastics breaking down in landfills and waterways, can become airborne, further degrading air quality and contributing to respiratory and immune issues for residents across the state. Unfortunately, since plastics are a relatively recent addition to our environment, scientists are still uncertain about their full impact on human health. However, microscopic plastic bits have been discovered in human organs and are linked to a range of potential health issues. To add insult to injury, the changes impacting Florida are far from just physical. The cost of living in the Sunshine State has risen dramatically, and we are not even talking about how much insurance premiums have increased over the past few years. In 2003, the median home price in the state was about $150,000, and that was expensive for then. Today, the median price has soared to over $400,000, a significant leap that reflects Florida's growing appeal as a destination for newcomers. Rent has also seen a sharp increase over the past couple of decades, with average rents jumping from around $800 a month to over $2,000 in many cities, making it more difficult for longtime residents to keep up. Additionally, corporate entities now own over 100,000 homes across Florida. Remember when you could jump on a Disney ride in under an hour? Or easily find parking at Weeki Wachee to launch your kayak? Even finding a decent job seemed simpler. Florida's rapid population growth has not only altered the environment, but also brought significant social challenges. Residents now face longer wait times for essential services, public transportation, and emergency responses, let alone for recreational activities. Traffic congestion has worsened, with more cars clogging the roads, leading to longer commutes and mounting frustration for drivers. As more people continue to flock to the state, these issues are becoming harder to ignore, putting immense pressure on Florida's infrastructure and social systems. While it is important to note that these issues are not unique to Florida, they do seem to be occurring at an alarming rate. The Florida of today is vastly different from the one people remember just a few decades ago, and the unfortunate truth is that today's children growing up here may never experience the vast orange orchards and pristine waters that once defined Florida. Unless we take action now, species are vanishing at an alarming rate, while microplastics contaminate the food we eat and the air we breathe. Flooding has become a constant threat, with rising waters encroaching on once safe communities. As these problems escalate, many longtime residents are choosing to leave the state, driven away by deteriorating conditions. But all hope is not lost yet. There are ways to make a difference. By supporting local conservation efforts, reducing single-use plastics, and advocating for sustainable urban development, Floridians can help protect what remains of the state's natural beauty. Simple actions, like using eco-friendly products, conserving water, and participating in cleanup efforts, can make a big difference. However, individual actions are only part of the solution. Putting pressure on local governments is essential too. Attending your local council meetings, voicing concerns, and actively opposing harmful urbanization projects can halt further environmental damage. In fact, due to public pressure, a recent plan to develop Florida state parks was tabled indefinitely. So we have the power to influence change. We just need to work together and use our voices. If we act now, through both individual efforts and pushing for stronger environmental policies, we have a chance to restore and protect Florida's ecosystems for future generations. It is up to us to ensure that the Florida we grew up in is not lost forever.